Neil Hamburger, thanks for calling in. How's it going on your part of the world? What's happening? Where are you calling from?
There's so much claptrap and noises and things like that. It's hard to hear hard to get in a word edgewise.
I apologize.
You're going to play all these rinky-dink recordings, and I mean, it sounds like the inside of an amusement park there, and that's not the way to do a radio program. Well, you got to get those guys out of there,
okay,
and just speak to the people. I mean, it's very hard to communicate with this blips and bleeps and blurps and the gaseous, flatulent sounds and all that sort of thing.
Well, I hear that, and I've been begging these guys to cool it down, especially when great guests like you come on. But I know you don't want to spend your time here giving notes about the quality of our show. I wanted to ask you, sir.
Well, the quality is good. The quality is good. I'm not knocking the quality. I'm knocking the bleeps and the blurps and the bloops.
We don't want to. We'll clear the lines for you, sir, and we will give you the respect that you deserve. There'll be no tomfoolery behind me. Trust me on that. Stop that.
Thank you.
Now listen. Where are you right now? Where are you calling us from, Neil?
Well, as you know, I had been holed up in Clovis at the Best Western for many weeks because of this lockdown. You know, I can't do the shows that I normally do. And then I came out to West Hills, which is closer to where you are, and was there at the Super 8 for a couple of weeks. And quite frankly, I could not keep away from all these, these maskless, slobbering, sputtering pigs that are just everywhere, and making it very likely that I would get sick and be unable to tell my jokes. So I had to get out of Los Angeles completely.
Wow!
And that's what I've done. I've gone very far away, about 3 hours away. I found this place.
Oh, where's that? Is it undisclosed, or can you reveal?
Well, it's uncharted. It's an island. It's about 3 hours, and you leave from Hermosa Beach, or I think you could probably leave from anywhere on the coast if you knew how to get there.
If you had the trajectory,
it's just a little island. It's just a nice little island, and it's actually very historic. In that this was the original Gilligan's Island, not the TV show, but the original, the actual Gilligan and that crew of people that shipwrecked there, that they based the show on. And so that's where I am, and it's very historic. There's no one else here. And it's very fresh air.
How long does it take to get out there?
He just said
3
hours.
3 hours.
Okay, so I didn't realize.
Have you seen the show?
Yeah, we've seen
right in the theme song. It's 3 hours.
We've already seen.
I skipped the theme song part.
I think we all have seen Gilligan's Island. So I didn't realize Gilligan's Island is based on a real place.
Yeah, the real folks that shipwrecked, they weren't as funny as on the TV show, and they had to merge some of the characters. Apparently, the professor was Gilligan. Gilligan was a professor, and then but the rest of them are exactly as they were on the show. Just as I say, a little less funny. And I found some diaries here and things like that. They didn't base the TV shows on the diaries because the diaries were buried. I actually found them when I was digging for ants to eat.
So. I assume now it's not a deserted island if you were able to find it. I mean, it's so were the original Gilligan cast, the actor, or not the actors, but the real people that were stranded on that island, were they eventually rescued and returned home safely?
Well, it's interesting. I've had time to explore this island, and I found, I guess you'd call it a makeshift sort of cemetery or graveyard. That they set up for the ones that passed away. So you have the skipper is buried here, and I've seen his grave, and the millionaire and also his wife. She passed on, and then there's a grave for Ginger and Marion. Now in the show it was Marianne, but the grave says Marion. But here's the interesting thing. Is that there's no grave for Professor Gilligan. So he obviously was the one that buried the rest of them. And I don't know if he's on this island and I'm going to run across him. I found some bones that could have been his, but honestly, it looked more like bones of a wolf. So I'm not sure what's going on. Had he lived, Professor Gilligan would have been in his 80s at this point.
I'm a little confused.
So
how do we know their story? I mean, how do people know about these people to tell the story that became the TV show Gilligan's Island?
Oh, it's in some of the encyclopedias. You just have to, you do your research and things. And I guess some of these Hollywood, these screenwriters are, a lot of them are druggies and don't get their work done on time. So rather than write a new story, they just found this story about this sad group of people that shipwrecked and just took the whole thing. Aside from, I don't know why they split Professor Gilligan into two characters. That is a mystery. I don't know if I'll be able to solve it while I'm here. I don't know that any of the people here knew about the show, honestly.
It's fascinating. A couple of things that kind of popped up in my head as I'm hearing about this is, I suppose we're breaking a little bit of news here that it sounds like this is you're the first to kind of put this two and two together. This island you found is the site of the original Gilligan's Island. That's what I'm understanding. So that seems kind of like fairly notable. Have you told anybody else? Have I just missed this?
It's not the original. It's the real. The difference. Right. The original was the TV show. This is the real Gilligan's Island.
But no one knows about this.
Professor Gilligan's Island.
Nobody knows about this. You've discovered it.
Well, I think some people know about it. You guys don't. But you guys, it seems like your world is playing bleeps and blips and blurps and not studying history.
So are you saying I'm asking you, it's common knowledge that there's a real Gilligan's Island out there where these real people were?
Well, I knew about it.
You knew about it.
I knew about it, and that's why I went out here.
What about fantasy?
Because I thought,
Doug wants to know what about fantasy.
That's just a TV show. Come on. That's just a TV show.
Well, how am I supposed to know that's not a real fantasy island?
You can tell when you watch it. It's all props. It's a set. It's a set. That's fake.
Okay. So
I have another question about the real Gilligan's Island. So you were looking
Professor
for
Gilligan's Island.
You're looking Professor Gilligan's Island.
You said you're looking for ants to eat? Like what kind of food?
Yeah, I mean, there's not. Well, I'm eating a lot of honey and ants and.
What about coconuts?
Basically combinations of that.
What about
There's
coconuts?
no coconuts here. It's not like on the TV show. It's not like on the TV show. There's no line where I found no clothesline where anyone was ever drying their $100 bills like on the TV show. I don't think that happened. I think that was
what about the bicycle
screenwriter's delusion.
I'm just curious if they starved to death the original crew the real Officer Gilligan.
Well, they may. I mean, there's graves. There's several graves here.
That's
I'm
how
not
they
going to
died.
dig them up and do an autopsy.
You think they died from that or from old age? Is there dates on the graves?
These guys didn't have calendars. This is a deserted island. I know on the TV show they had all kinds of amenities, but this isn't the TV show. This is the real Gilligan's Island. Now, I'm lucky that my phone works because these phone satellites are so high in the air. Well, the satellites are quite high. Have you ever seen a satellite floating around? Of course not. No. Because they're so high up there that as long as you're high up enough, you can get the phone signals. And then I bought 2 solar phone chargers before I set out on the 3-hour tour. So I'm set for a while. Now, if the phone chargers stop working, and these are Amazon basics, so they probably will.
So what's your plan? What's your long-term plan? And do you have a way how did you get to the island, and do you have a method to get off the island, I guess would be a good question.
I went out with a charter boat operator. I had to pay him, and he dropped me off. Now, the weather was very rough on the way here, and the tiny ship was tossed around a bit. So I hope he made it back safely. I suggested that he stay there as well, but he didn't have any interest in it. He said he wanted to get back to Hermosa Beach, so that's his choice. I don't know. I suppose I could text him and see if he got back. I've only been here about a week.
And how are you planning to get off the island? To communicate with the charter captain and have him scoop you back up?
Well, I mean, I've got phone access, so maybe I'll get you guys to come get me. Doug seems like the kind of guy that knows how to operate a boat.
No. So,
Doug, he seems like the kind of guy that could get me out of this mess.
So you consider this a mess you're in, that you're on a deserted island. Is there any shelter?
We don't want to add any more graves to that island. So I could put together a canoe or something. But
I have a question, Neil.
That's I don't want to get off it now, and it's a mess in that. Honestly, I'd rather be there with you guys, having some fun and telling some jokes. But as long as everybody's slobbering, and then the thing is that the smoke from these fires.
Terrible.
The best case scenario would be if they came out in the news and said, "Hey, guess what, guys? Good news. The smoke actually killed the virus."
The smoke would kill the virus. That would be terrific, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't that be great? And I was hoping for that, and it did not pan out. So that's when I said, you know what, I'm going to get the hell out of here. Now, I hope I'm not stuck here forever. I don't want to end up, a pile of bones like Professor Gilligan. But
any
that
evidence,
could happen. We'll see.
Is there any evidence there that this so-called Professor Gilligan was kind of a bumbling fool, or any kind of evidence that he was inept in any kind of way? Or is that more of the Hollywood Sherwood Schwartz treatment?
That's what I think, because the makeshift graveyard, I have to assume that he was involved with that, because, as I said, everyone else is there but him. The headstones are very nice. They're symmetrical. They're carved with wood. He spelled all the words right. They're spaced very evenly. It's not forest lawn, but as far as graveyards go, it's quite good.
That's very interesting that he took the time and sort of care to make to bury all of them, and somehow, maybe it seems like he was the last man standing there on the island. Clearly,
now Gilligan
he could still be here. I don't know.
Was Gilligan the guy with the hat?
Sorry, Doug.
You think guy with the hat?
Gilligan.
He was the professor?
Well, on the TV show, no. In real life, there was a Professor Gilligan.
Uh-huh.
No, they took Professor Gilligan and they split him into a dumb character and a professor. I don't know why they did that. That's terrible. But if you've seen, you see like the Ray Charles movie or any of these biopics, they often do these composite characters. This is sort of a reverse composite character, I guess.
Well, just one question. So you believe that there's a chance that Professor Gilligan might still be alive on the island somewhere? There's no evidence that he's. Well, he might have left. He might have escaped, right?
No. I found some bones, but the jaw, there was a skull that looked more like a wolf's skull.
A wolf.
Than the professor's skull. So I don't think that's the only bones I've found so far. Now, it's not the hugest island, but I haven't been here long enough. There could be some caves. He could be in one of the caves.
And you haven't encountered you haven't encountered the Harlem Globetrotters or anything like that?
I have not seen them, and there's no graves for them either.
Okay.
And that's a big team.
One more question.
There must be 15 people on the team.
One more question. Where do you lodge at night? Do you have some kind of like a hammock set up like Gilligan and the Skipper had? Anything like that? How do you
exactly
sleep?
Like that? Yeah, it's probably. There was a hammock that was kind of rotted away, I guess, from the exposure to the elements. But parts of it were still intact, and so I was able to sort of piece together. I wouldn't say it's a good hammock. I'd say that I should have gone to Pier 1 Imports or something before I set out on this trip. And on the TV show, those guys, they brought all kinds of things, but I'm afraid I didn't plan ahead as well as I should have.
All right. Well, listen, Neil Hamburger, we wish you the best of luck. We hope you get back safely. I would suggest keeping, it sounds like we're eating up quite a bit of your phone battery on this call, so I don't want you to end up with...
It's solar.
Oh, it's solar. Okay, good. Well, then
I have a solar charger. I can charge it. My phone's better charged than yours, guys. I promise you that. Because I keep the solar charger plugged in all the time. It's at 100% right now. What's yours at? I bet it's not 100.
It's not. You're correct. All right, Mr. Hamburger, good luck to you, and I hope everything turns out right. How interesting to discover that the Gilligan's Island program was based on a real island.
Tim, it's too bad he's not.
Good luck to you. All the best. Anything else you want to add? Anything you want to plug?
If you guys want to visit, that's fine. But you got to get tested before I would allow that.
I see. Of course.
This island has no coronavirus here at all. Well, it's very pure.
Sounds like a true paradise, and no fires to speak of either, I assume.
I can see, this is 3 hours away, but I can see that something's gone wrong on the mainland from here.
Final word, Doug.
I'd rather go to Vince Gilligan's Island. Probably has better amenities.
There you go.
Yeah, it probably does, but it's probably filled with all these PAs and camera guys and all these people that'll give you the COVID.
All right, Neil, take care. Thank you for calling in. We always appreciate it. And good luck out there in the high seas in the middle of nowhere.
Congratulations on your millionth episode, guys. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.